Hey, what's up guys? This is Nightwing2303 and Jerron Mon from WearTesters.com. And this is WearTesters Trash Talk, episode 4. So without wasting too much more time, we're just going to get straight into it. So topic number 1, basketball and sneakers.
Alright.
Everybody knows Curry is one of a few that are up for the MVP this year.
Right.
So if, by chance, he does win this, what do you think that's going to do for Under Armour as a brand and Curry's brand under Under Armour, the Curry brand?
Right.
What do you think that's going to do for them? The shoes are already selling out.
Right.
Like online, like multiple sizes are gone. Yeah, which is crazy. So, and that shoe is not limited, by the way. I've seen the actual product numbers.
Really?
Like what was, yeah.
That's awesome. That's good to hear.
They made a lot. So, trust me. So these things are legit selling out. It's not some cheapo limited size stuff. So, do you think it's going to have an effect on anything? I know that we had talked about this previously with KD, like how that would have possibly have worked Under Armour positively or negatively. So let me know what you think.
First thing I would like to rephrase your question is, when Steph Curry wins MVP, will it affect Under Armour? Short term, I think...
Knock on wood, knock on wood.
Right. I think short term, not as much as people think. Long term, I think it will help them out. What I mean by this, short term, Curry wins MVP, they bring out MVP shirts, hats, special colorway, probably limited, sell out, because they're already selling out, right?
Yeah.
Limited MVP colorway sells out easy. That doesn't really do much for them. But when the Curry 2 comes out, I can already see it. Commercials, reigning MVP, most valuable player of the National Basketball Association.
It's like a
sequel. Exactly. That is going to translate into international success for them, where people in China, Europe, or wherever don't really know what the best players are besides the MVPs and All-Stars.
Does Under Armour have an outside presence in the U.S., like outside of the U.S.? I don't even know.
Well, in China a little bit, because Brandon Jennings, when Brandon Jennings was like their flagship dude for a while, he was in China a lot, doing things for them. He was also in Italy playing, but he would like go to China every summer and push the brand. Also, they signed Emmanuel Mudiay, which plays in China, one of the top draft prospects for this coming draft. So they have that guy. But I just think it'll help them internationally, because these people in China, the Middle East, wherever people like to watch basketball are going to see the commercials. MVP, wow, this is the most valuable player of this league that I watch. Therefore, they're going to want that guy's products more. You know what I'm saying?
What if, hypothetically, he wins and Under Armour tries what Adidas tried after Rose got MVP, which was the big price hike? Do you think it'll happen? And if so, do you think that'll have an effect on sales?
I don't think that'll happen, because I think Adidas tried it and it failed.
Yeah, big time.
Of course, the injuries didn't help.
True.
But that was just a stupid move, right? And I think what Under Armour is building up is they're doing it right? They have all their prices are fair, not just in their sneakers, but their apparel. It's fair. Like when you get compression gear from Under Armour, it's noticeably cheaper than Nike
Well, I will say that stuff's still, in my opinion, a little expensive.
Right.
But I do happen to have preference to that brand's compression gear.
Yes.
I've tried Nikes and all that stuff, and I do like Under Armour's the best.
Right.
Not having price to do with any of that, but it is expensive.
Yes,
so.
Very much so. But I mean, it would just be such a shift in the way they're doing things. Like, hey, we have all this great value for our products, and then all of a sudden they have a premium price tag for what I already think is premium product, right? The Curry one is a premium product, in my opinion. The materials are there and everything.
Yeah, they're on par with whatever else is on the market.
Absolutely. I would put the Curry one up to any signature model.
It's actually, in my opinion, out of the first round or new gen signature lines that we have Lillard, Wall, Kyrie, and Curry. Is there another one, or is that all?
I think that's it for now, yeah.
There's just the 4. So out of those 4, the Curry is the best option. Not only is it the best shoe, but it's also the best value. It gives you the most bang for your buck. You're getting full-length cushion, you're getting great materials, plenty of support, great traction, all that stuff, in a $120 package. It's $120, right?
Yeah, it's $120, which
so
is amazing.
they lowered the price. It's so similar to the clutch fit, but they lowered the price $5 when they didn't even have to.
Right.
They could have came out. In my opinion, that shoe, just to match with his jersey numbers, could have been $130.
Right, exactly. So, and would we be complaining if it was $130?
I wouldn't, no. But I'm surprised. That's what I mean, is that they drop it down $5. I just think it's weird. So, but yeah, out of all of the shoes, I do know that it's the most expensive out of those 4. Right. But it's the most valuable as far as what you're getting out of it. Yeah. And it's not even legitimately more expensive than the rest. We're talking $10.
Exactly. Like, one thing that I realize is that the guard signature model,
they're all guards.
They're all guards, right? So Adidas just is getting guard signature model after guard signature model. What's funny is...
That is true. They have 3.
Yeah. What's funny is, even though Under Armour doesn't have signature models, all Under Armour athletes right now, if you look at their website, you see the roster on the bottom. They're all guards. And they were signed before these guys on Adidas.
Yeah, that I think was just by default because a lot of their signing players were kind of like lower level athletes.
You're right.
I wouldn't say that they're lower level because they're all NBA, but like they're all non-big markets.
They're not transcendent, which brings me to my next point. I think that Curry winning the MVP might help Under Armour catch some of those bigger names.
So right now we have Adidas, right?
Right.
Then we have Under Armour, and then we have Nike Jordan, right?
Yeah.
So how...
Nike Jordan.
Yeah, they're way up there. You can't even see them. They're like on another level. So how far do you think this gap is going to get between them and Adidas, and how close is it going to get between... Because it's a huge gap.
Right.
Huge.
It's huge.
Between the number 2 brand, Under Armour, and the number 1 brand, Nike Jordan. I mean, it's billions. So, and one guy can't possibly change all this.
One guy can't change all this, and 5 years can't change all this, 10 years can't change this, but 20, 25, 30? I've heard the CEO say that, and his goal is to take down Nike. He's not being coy about it. He said, weird. Hey, if we're not taking down Nike, then what are we doing? Yeah. Right? And that's great as a brand to set goals that high for yourself.
That's old school.
Yeah, that's old school.
I'm telling you, a lot of you guys might be younger, so you don't know, but in the 80s, it was not the way it is right now. I don't know what even happened. Like, it feels like it just kind of happened overnight, but it clearly wasn't, because this is throughout my whole, basically, years in existence, 30 years. There was Reebok and Nike battling it out. Then it was Nike and Adidas, and Jordan brand sprouted off somewhere in the middle of that. There was always Fila, which was a contender at the time, not a Walmart brand, and One even had their little piece of the pie.
And One definitely had a piece of the pie.
During the 90s, and One was like, I mean, that was the Under Armour back in the day.
Absolutely.
Where they were the affordable, performance-friendly models where they didn't give a crap about the next brand because they were talking shit on clothing and everything.
Yeah, and all the kids wore it because, again, it was affordable. And so those kids growing up now...
The mixtapes killed it.
Yeah, I know.
The mixtapes were more popular than the NBA stuff.
Absolutely. It was on ESPN. So, and one mixtape was on ESPN.
They toured.
Yeah,
as a team. Like the only teams to do that has been like the Globetrotters, and like they had their own team. Like they were killing people.
That one was crazy.
Yeah, so I think it's weird to see. You know what I mean? We're finally starting to have some type of competition in the marketplace again, which we haven't had in so long. I think it's great. It's one of those things where I appreciate all the brands. I'm not loyal to one brand or the other, despite what people like to talk in the comments. They said something about earlier how I am biased towards the underdog brands. That is very prevalent. In my room. So I don't know what that's all about, but it's just nice to see that there's competition. Just like in the NBA, you don't want all the players on one team. You want them throughout because you want those battles. You want to have fun. You want competition.
Absolutely.
It's better for everybody, not just the team that has the competition, but it's better for the people paying money to see it.
I mean, what's the best rivalry in the NBA? Clippers Warriors. They hate each other.
Yeah,
and we love that. That's what generates views and people like us to talk about. And if you didn't know, Under Armour's slogan is "I will," which is a direct answer to Nike's "Just Do It."
Was done like that intentionally,
which is awesome. Just do it. I will. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I think 20 years from now, way down the road, that gap from 1 to 2 might get closer. But I think 2 to 3 right now, it's a gradual increase.
Yeah, it's going to go away.
It's going right now.
The number 3 spot is irrelevant at this point.
Exactly.
If you're not 1 or 2, you're nothing.
Hopefully Curry wins. Hopefully this discussion isn't empty. Yeah. And, someone like Harden wins.
That's why I say knock on wood. You don't want to...
Exactly. Which I definitely think Harden deserves, but I do think Curry will win, and that'll be great for Under Armour long-term success. Alright, so our next topic is another comic book topic. The Netflix original series of Daredevil. That's right, Marvel's Daredevil has just released, and not just the first episode, not 2, not 3, the whole season released. So you could go watch it on Netflix right now if you don't have Netflix.
Straight binge watch, like 13 hours, man.
You're losing if you don't have Netflix. So we've watched a couple episodes. Him more than me. I think 3.
I couldn't help it. I've been staying up hella late, dog.
So you can already tell that he's excited. So let's just tell me your thoughts, what you like or didn't like so far about the Daredevil's Netflix original series.
First off, it's the best show that's never been on TV. It's probably the best comic book related thing that we've had like this, not cinematic.
Okay, which, listen, I don't like TV shows that stem from superhero sci-fi because I just think the budget isn't there, and I don't like cheesy stuff like that. So I don't watch The Flash, Arrow.
Those are not cheesy, though.
Okay.
So
that's what I wanted to know. Yeah. Compared to those shows.
So Gotham, don't bother with it. Constantine, I don't even watch that either.
I think it got canceled, so...
Basically, the only two that you need to like pay attention to at this time, before Daredevil came out, was Arrow and Flash.
Yeah, and DC has announced that the TV universe
they're separate.
Totally different from cinematic, so...
Yeah, they're separate, so, and I'm fine with that, too. The thing that we only had before this was Smallville, and Smallville, I know that it has a big fan base, but Smallville's weak, dude.
Yeah, no.
So Daredevil's like the best thing, because Arrow was the gritty, kind of low budget street level type of character that they were portraying on TV, but with Daredevil it's like an HBO version of that, which means that everything is like enhanced a lot. There's not like nudity or anything like that, but there's like really sarcastic humor in it, which I love. Like dark humor. The show's just really dark in general. Dude is like a ninja, which is exactly what he's supposed to be. The way that they're doing flashbacks portraying the origins is just like an Arrow where there's flashbacks.
Okay.
And I think it's sick. Even the kid version of Daredevil has been... You haven't seen that. See, I've seen some episodes already, and like the kid is legit.
No, I was about to say the first scene you see in Daredevil where it shows Matt in an accident where he gets blinded. I just want to say, shout out to that kid. That was like some good acting, right? Like,
you haven't seen anything.
Okay, so I don't have anything to compare this up because I don't watch Arrow and Flash and stuff like that.
Well, this I was gonna say Arrow and Flash were the top two. Arrow is trash compared to this.
Okay, so
Flash is dope because it's funny.
Daredevil, I like it. I like it a lot.
Did you like the movie?
Well, when I was a kid, I liked the movie, and when I watched it again, I was kind of like...
Well, take out the corny scenes, and then would you like it?
I'm lukewarm about it.
Okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible.
I'm just kind of like, there's definitely worse out there.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Batman and Robin, like, that's like, I mean, to beat a dead horse, but that's the worst.
Yeah.
But this Daredevil show, when Rosario Dawson came out, and I was like, whoa, and she's not like A-list actor. Or actress, sorry. But she's like pretty up there, and to see a name like that associated with a comic book television show that's not on cable, is kind of like...
Well, she's in Sin City too.
She was. This legitimizes
That's actually what this is like.
Oh yeah, that's a good comparison.
It's very gritty like that.
Yeah, and they waste no time getting into, hey, this is Daredevil, he kicks ass, right?
Dude, so episode 1, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler. There's like first 2 minutes, there's a badass fight scene.
Yeah.
And that I was like...
Yeah.
Like, it was that type of fight in a superhero TV show, even though it's not on TV.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that's how they're going to do this?
Yeah.
And so that set the tone for the whole series for me. I was like, this is going to be sick.
My favorite fight scene so far is when he's in the hallway, and there's 2 doors, right? And he goes to get the kid, and it's one continuous shot, and the camera's moving in and out of the hallway.
Yeah.
Well, that was crazy.
That's where my one complaint comes in, though, is with the fights, is that the guy is not knocking guys out in one hit, and I think that's not quite realistic. Not that having super senses and all that stuff is realistic, but when you're taking a serious approach and then you keep faltering back on the non-serious aspect of it, it takes you out a little bit, because he's punching dudes like 10 times before they go down, and I'm just like, you can go on World Star Hip Hop right now and see a guy getting laid out in like one hit. You know what I mean?
At a Waffle House.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of like, how is this kid knocking this old man out in one hit, getting him square in the jaw, but then Daredevil is like bouncing around, kicking dudes in the face and and they're like getting back up and so that's where I'm kind of like, just boom, let it be done, because that would mean that he's more powerful. Otherwise, I'm sitting here being like, he's kind of weak.
Well, maybe he's growing into his skills, and maybe towards the end of the season.
He looked pretty skillful. So
yeah, definitely. I can see
the episode named Stick. Trust me, it's like you're gonna be like, what? Okay. and that's where I'm kind of like they're almost drawing the fight scenes out just to like show like more violence when it could be so much quicker and fast paced if they just would be like, oh, you know, 1-2 knockout.
We talked about the things we like. I just want to go over some things that I don't like.
Go for it, because that's the only thing I don't like.
These are nitpicks, of course. Don't pull this out of context and say that I'm a hater towards the show, because I'm not. I like it. Okay, I think it's solid 4 out of 5 stars on my Netflix.
4 out of 5?
Hey, listen, I come from Breaking Bad. Like, that's 5.
I never even watched that show.
Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah.
So, first complaint, Foggy.
His acting is very hit or miss.
Yes. He feels like he belongs in the CW Smallville. Yeah. Right?
I agree with that.
So, that's my first nitpick, and I think it's something we can all agree on.
Yeah, that's something where you'd never really hear me say that as a complaint just because I'm not an actor. So exactly. I don't want to, like, bash a dude's acting chops if I don't do that. Yeah. So, because I know that I wouldn't be able to do it.
I've watched movies with Chris, and he doesn't really care about the acting. He's just like, that was awesome. And I'll be like, yeah, but the reaction wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that he recognizes that guy's acting is hit or miss. The second nitpick, I just want to ask you, could there have been a guy to portray Daredevil in a more badass way where you were like, I wish I was that dude, because this guy is kind of small. I would say he's the same height as you, and you could definitely see that in the show where he's definitely smaller than these dudes.
Maybe that's why I like this guy, because I really like this guy.
See, that's one way or another. It could resonate with you, where like he's like me and he's kicking ass.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, I just wish he was more badass.
Maybe it's because I've seen more episodes than you, but only by a few. But somehow that's making a world of a difference right now, because the stuff that I've seen him do in the last 2 episodes, I'd say at least episode 5 and 6, like that's when starts getting real. And I'm just kind of like, this dude's like gnarly. Whereas before, scene that you were talking about where he's saving this kid, where I'm like, why does this guy have to punch this dude 20 times before he knocks him out? Like, just knock him out real quick, right? And so it makes the character seem physically weak. Even though that still happens like later on in the other episodes, it's still more of this, like, this dude's pretty fucking badass. But yeah, so you know, it's just a little bit different, like where you'll see Batman like break, boom, boom, knockout, and then this guy's like flipping this, and the guy's still getting up. I'm like, what the you know what I mean? So
Daredevil Netflix original series, thumbs up from us. We love it.
Thumbs up for sure.
Definitely. Another comic book topic, Deadpool. So the Deadpool movie is happening thanks to online campaigning. I think that something could have happened 20 years ago, right? Thanks to social media and all that, the Deadpool movie kind of got a kick in the ass, and it's
supposedly
it's becoming a real thing. And we just got an announcement that
it's all happening so fast because they're in production. So I think they already had the thing.
Oh, true,
it was already legit, but I think that they were just building hype up.
Right, and so the Deadpool announcement came out that it's going to be rated R.
There may be a billion reasons to make a family-friendly movie, as in sequels and toys, and listen, Ryan, if you... April Fools, Deadpool will of course be rated R.
Which is something that I think you didn't foresee. Because I've asked you, should Suicide Squad be rated R? And you're like, no, they can't do that. And I think you're along the same line as Deadpool. But it's happening. It's going to be rated R. What are your thoughts about that?
It's not that they can't do it. It's just that, you know, rated R isn't like crazy, drastically different from PG-13. Other than some visual aspects, which would be blood. And then you can say one
more S-bomb, or F-bomb,
So, you know what I mean? So that's where I'm just kind of like, what's the difference as long as it's really good? Now, with this being rated R, all it guarantees you is that Deadpool is going to be the given Deadpool that you know from the comic books, which is awesome.
Have you seen Kill Bill?
Yes.
What if it was that level rated R? Like,
I think it's going to be 10 times worse than that.
Okay, which is great. I want to see.
I mean, we're going to see like heads getting cut off, and I mean, the stuff that Deadpool's going to do to other people is going to be nothing compared to what we see done to him because of his healing factor. The comic books have been, I mean, his guts have spilled out, and he's like, you know what I mean? And so, like, the stuff that I've seen Deadpool go through in the books is going to be hilarious to see on film.
That's going to be great. I think it'll translate well. Something that I've always wanted to see is a rated R Wolverine, because the dude has claws
and somehow nobody dies.
Yeah.
You know?
What?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just kind of like, wait, what? So one thing that I've always said that should happen is Quentin Tarantino Wolverine, where he's in Japan. Whoa, that would be sick, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like they didn't...
The last Wolverine movie with the Japanese stuff...
They didn't use the Japanese stuff to its advantage, in my opinion.
It was cool for what it was, but then the deleted scenes of that...
Way better.
The rated R version was dope. They've been talking about trying to do an Old Man Logan, and I've already talked to you about that book as it is. Like, and trying to do that...
It's crazy.
Something like it, even, because there's no way they're going to be able to do that exact, because it's so wild. It was so gory that, other characters aside, there's no way that they're going to do anything remotely as cool as that book was on film. So I don't even know why you would bother.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like trying that, because you're just setting yourself up for a flop.
What if the Deadpool movie is going and he's in a fight and it's just getting way too intense, right? I mean, even for Deadpool, it's getting way too intense. Boom! Wolverine drops in and starts fighting rated R with him. How cool would that be?
I think it would be cool, but I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen. We're talking different demographics here.
Right, totally.
So Wolverine is the kids. Unfortunately, that's... I mean, you probably don't even watch the cartoons, and I'm sad to admit that I do. So, the recent cartoons, I'm not talking about the 90s stuff, but the recent cartoons, the Disney XD crap, it's garbage, and I don't know why I even watch it, but I watch it anyways. I don't know how I even sit through it, but I do, and I'm always sitting there being like, this is so stupid. You know what I mean?
You hate watch it. I mean, everyone does it.
Yeah, so I don't know, but... So I don't see how you're going to take that Wolverine and all of a sudden make him rated R, but then put him back in X-Men and be like, yeah, we're PG-13 today.
Show a little cameo. That's all I'm asking for. I just want to see those adamantium claws.
They'll probably
slice off an arm.
They'll probably reference it. Well, that's what I'm saying though, is that the stuff that we're going to see done to Deadpool is going to be wicked.
Right.
We might even see his head fly off. He's been ripped apart. Like if you take Wolverine and Hulk, for example, Hulk has split Wolverine in half.
Yeah.
And thrown him, you know what I mean? Trying to keep him. Yeah, he did in Old Man Wolverine.
And then in the stomach.
He regenerated, came out. It was, trust me, man. So that's what I'm saying, is that, are you going to take Wolverine there or are you not? Because so far they're not. And I don't see how they're going to be like, yes, today you're do whatever you do, and then tomorrow you can't. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Well, Hugh Jackman said he's only going to play Wolverine one more time.
I don't believe that.
So, I don't think...
That guy said back and forth multiple times that he's going to be Wolverine forever, and then now he's not. And
I think he's a perfect Wolverine. I think they shouldn't recast him. Say they do. Maybe with that new recast, they bring Wolverine to that level.
Maybe, but I mean, even then, the Wolverine in the comics is different than what he used to be.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't see it happening. I think that Wolverine is X-Men's only guaranteed draw.
Exactly.
So I don't think
he's always front and center in the posters.
Yeah, and they're never going to take him and do what they should with him. He's got to be the cash money guy or whatever. So you know, but yeah, I think it'd be cool. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that they'll do it. I think that trying to fit Deadpool into that universe or whatever, because it is connected, is going to be hard enough. So this guy knows what's going on, which is the weird part, the fourth wall thing. Deadpool, in case you guys don't know, has broken the fourth wall, which means he knows he's a comic book character. Oh,
okay. Oh, right.
So he knows that you're reading him. He knows that his thought bubbles are thought bubbles.
Okay.
He's so crazy that he'll like say out loud, and then the character next to him in the book will be like, "What'd you just say?" And he's like, "What? That wasn't a thought bubble?"
I didn't know you were referring to that, the cinematic fourth wall. I thought
the fourth wall and everything. So supposedly he even knows that this is a movie.
Interesting.
So I don't see how, because that's so weird, and they're trying to make everything so real.
This one's going to be different from all the other comic book movies that are coming out.
Definitely. So right now we're going to take a couple of comments or questions from the comment section in the last video. We're going to answer them rapid fire style. So let's go in and get right into it. Brian Fortes, he asks, who is / are your favorite supervillains?
Alright, so for me, I think the best villains ever portrayed in any medium, whether it be books, comics, movies, shows, are Nazis. So I'm going Nazis? Red Skull. Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't see that coming.
And in Old Man Logan, what he does is awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I have to go with the Joker.
Of course.
Yeah, just because he'll make you piss your pants.
Absolutely. So, favorite Joker, though? Mark Hamill.
The Killing Joke. Okay. Red Hood asks, what do you think about DC's new 52 series? Personally, I have not read much of it. So, you know, I'm not up for all the reboot. I don't like the crises of all everything. I think it's dumb, and it's just a way for you to spend more money on more books.
That's what it comes down to, right?
R. Curtis777 asked, what did you guys think about the death of Donatello in the comics? Did you even know about that?
I didn't know about that, but I did read that comment, so you're gonna have to explain to me what happened.
The Foot and Shredder and all of them team up with the Turtles because the Krang are taking over everything.
Yeah.
And Shredder wants to take over everything, and the Turtles don't want that, so they're gonna, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, or whatever, right? So they do that crap, and then Donatello is with him, Metalhead, and then those two are with Rocksteady and Bebop. And then in the comic books, Rocksteady and Bebop are not idiots like they are in the cartoon series in the 80s. Over the radio, Shredder tells them, kill the turtle. And so they crack his shell open and everything with a sledgehammer. And then you find out in the very next issue, not 10 issues from now, but the very next issue, that Donatello's not really dead. Big shocker, right? So that's where I'm kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah, so he didn't die?
He didn't die.
That's like when your family dog dies and you tell, oh no, and then you get a new family dog. It's like look, it's the same dog. You know? No, you don't do that.
It's just weird, so I didn't like it. I just thought it was stupid. K9 Shoe asked me specifically if I play any video games. I try to, but I suck at them, so typically, no.
But I will say that it's going to be real hard for him when the new Arkham City comes out.
That's the only reason why I own an Xbox is because of those Batman games,
right? And
those are the only games that I play. I might have to buy an Xbox One or a PS4 just to play that game.
Well, I'm going to be sending you videos. I play video games like every day. Yeah. So when that comes out, trust me, you'll be getting some vines from me being like, hey, Chris.
The trailer for that game alone had me like,
I know, man. It's crazy.
Gooseman85 asked, what do you guys think about the holiday Air Jordan 11 being priced at $220? I'll let you start with that.
I don't want to say almost always doesn't make sense. It always doesn't make sense.
It never makes sense, yeah. $220 for non-new technology shoe that is $5 less than your latest flagship with all the tech in the world in it. That's just where I don't understand it.
And so I think we could both agree that that price is whack, even though usually, as you can see by this room, price doesn't really totally affect our purchase decisions, but recently it has. I think in the near future it definitely will. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
You can buy a PlayStation for almost that price.
That's what I'm saying. Alright guys, that pretty much takes care of everything. Thank you for watching. Yeah, if you haven't already, look back at some of our previous episodes of WearTesters Trash Talk. Make sure to leave a comment or / question in the comment section. We'll pick that for the next episode as well, and you'll get our answers. And that's pretty much it. So thank you guys again. Stay tuned for WearTesters shooting shirts. These are a Bay Area exclusive. There might be a few that trickle online, but the other ones are coming up soon. And that is pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. And until next time, guys, have a good one.
Peace.